Hello and welcome back to the dark ass basement. I want to take a few minutes to talk to you today about probably the worst take that I've ever put out on the internet. Yeah, historically I've been pretty tough on Fujifilm in general, and particularly on one of the most beloved models in the entire lineup. So today I want to give the Fujifilm X-T5 a long overdue apology. Hello, happy Friday, welcome back. This is Snapping App, I think 37. This is, as always, my weekly-ish, laid-back mini-series here on YouTube about all things photography. Now, to be clear, I actually stand by about 75% of my criticism of the T5, but there's one thing in particular that I want to set the record straight on, and that's what this video is about. So I owned the Fujifilm X-T5 for a couple of years. I took it all over the world. I shot photo and video with it in Central America, in Europe, in Canada, Mexico, all over the US. This is all just to say for context that this isn't some, camera where I got a review copy of it or something for 2 weeks and formed some, clickbaity bullshit opinion to throw out on YouTube for clicks. This is a camera that I used and abused and really, put through its paces. And yeah, what's funny is a lot of the things that I dislike about the T5 are reasons that people have picked up a copy of that very camera. So this is all subjective, take it with a grain of salt. But with that said, let's go through the stuff that I still stand by first, and we'll do this really quick so it doesn't turn into like a 10-minute gear rant. Number one, too much resolution. Again, a reason that people literally buy this camera, but for me, I just think that 40 megapixel is insanely overkill. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse because I think I've talked about this probably 3 or 4 times on the channel. I was perfectly content with 26. Then there's the sensor's color science, and this is something that I was surprised to have so many people agree with me on, but there's just something about the Trans 5 sensor that does not click with me, or didn't used to click with me. I think I've finally gotten pretty good and pretty comfortable with color grading images out of the Trans 5 sensor now that I've had the X106 for I think about a year now. But yeah, when I picked up the X-T5, I was coming from the Pro 3, which is a Trans 4 sensor, and there was just something magical about the images, the colors that I got out of the Pro 3, and that for me was just completely absent in the T5. I'm gonna keep this next point to about 15 seconds because really, what else am I gonna add to the conversation? But the autofocus at launch, the T5 was a $2,000 camera. I would argue that it's at least partially competing with full frame Sonys and Canons. It's just behind. Fujifilm, in my opinion, should feel pressure to keep up. I'm not gonna make excuses for a corporation who doesn't know who I am or care about me. Autofocus needs to get better. And it has, for the record. Honestly, the 2S that I'm filming on right now, the AF, is, I would say, in a place where I don't really think about it anymore. And then there's the IBIS. I just found, like, for photography it was fantastic, but in video it was really jittery, stuttery. Basically, I was better off turning it off entirely and then just correcting in post, like using Davinci Resolve. It just looked terrible. The footage was jumpy and kind of like stuttery. I've done a little bit of research. To my knowledge, the same IBIS is in the XH2S, so I don't know if it's the faster readout speed from the stack sensor. I don't know if it's just better ergonomics, better technique on my part after a couple years more experience, or what the deal is, but the footage that I get out of the 2S is much smoother and much more workable. And then the auto exposure. This is actually where we transition into the part that I want to correct about my previous criticism. But the auto exposure for me in video, again, ruined so many clips. Basically, you start filming and then the auto exposure goes up and down and brighter and darker, and it like kind of takes 2-3 seconds at the beginning of the clip to settle. Well, when you're doing run and gun hybrid video, photo, you kind of need those few seconds when you first start recording. So a lot of the time I would end up with a throwaway clip because the auto exposure was going up and down while my subject was doing the thing that I wanted to film. That auto exposure issue really sucked back in the day, but today, the way that I film now, it wouldn't even be a problem because I don't use automatic settings in video anymore, the way that I shoot today. And so here's where I'll say that it wasn't fair of me to slam the X-T5 as hard as I did in the video department. Once I bought the XH2S last year and I started using it, I made a very conscious, concerted effort to start learning a lot more about video, about the specific features that I had just, purchased. I wanted to be able to use the camera to its fullest potential. When I was filming everything on the T5, I of course knew the basics. I knew about the 180-degree shutter rule. I was filming in log format, all that kind of stuff, but I was really kind of half-assing it because I was much more of a photographer at the moment, and I wasn't using a V&D. I wasn't sticking, strictly to all of the best practices. I was just kind of run and gun hybrid shooting. I just don't think it was fair for me to be half-assing things in the video department and then criticizing the camera for its video output. Do I think that the camera's auto exposure is a problem, and should it be able to handle automatic video settings? Yeah, but I also don't think that you're going to get the best results out of any camera without a V&D filter, without sticking to the 180-degree rule, locking your frame rate, adjusting your exposure, using your histogram. There's just so much more that I've not just learned, but actually put into practice and made the time and space and energy in my shoots to, do everything the right way now that I see how much better the footage could have been out of that camera if I had done all these things with the T5. Basically, long story short, moral of this entire video is that most of what I do on the 2S could be done on the T5 if you approach it a certain way. Yes, of course the X-H2S has a ton of advantages in the video department. It was basically purpose built for video first hybrid shooters. Of course it's going to beat the hell out of the T5 in the video department, but that doesn't mean that the T5 isn't capable of fantastic footage, fantastic results. And at the time, what I wish I could go back and undo is I just would have contextualized my thoughts on its auto video performance with the fact that I wasn't doing everything according to the best practices. I was just kind of run and gun, like snapping clips here and there. And the T5 is a genuinely great camera. I really miss it. I miss that screen design, in particular the flip out articulating screen on the 2S is great for filming yourself, but it's not so much for anything else really. The T5 was smaller, more agile, just more fun to use, and I miss it a lot, especially as a photographer nowadays. Would I go back in time and undo anything? Would I not sell the T5 or not replace it with the 2S? No, I think I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I definitely learned a lot because of the 2S, because I put a much fancier video camera in my hands. It, encouraged me to learn how to use all of the features that I had invested in, and so I'm grateful for that. Now that we're allegedly so close to another batch of Fujifilm sensors and cameras, I'm very excited to see what they do next. I think that the T6, or whatever they end up calling it, could be the thing to make me switch bodies again and probably stay put for a very long time after that, knowing more about what I need and how I shoot nowadays. I think it could be the perfect camera. But this has been bothering me for a while and making me feel a bit silly, so I wanted to come on here, set the record straight, and just be a little bit more fair to the T5, at least in the video department. So yeah, just an updated take on one of the Fujifilm ecosystem's most beloved cameras. I feel better, for sure. So that's enough gear talk. Go out, drink some water, take some photos, have an excellent weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon in the next video.